Yes, people, what is going on? I hope you guys are good and well. Welcome to my channel, Peter on Pole, all things Formula One. And today we need to discuss what took place at the Australian Grand Prix, not because of what happened in terms of George Russell or Fernando Alonso or Carlos Sainz, but there was something that stuck out to me this weekend that I think should not go unnoticed. I believe this weekend, the weekend just gone at the Australian Grand Prix, Logan Sargeant lost his seat in Formula One, has lost his seat at least at Williams. And I'll tell you why. Alex Albon did really good in Logan Sargeant's car. Now, for those of you that didn't know, Alex Albon crashed his car in practice and completely damaged the car beyond repair. Now, Williams didn't bring a second chassis, which it can be unusual. It can be, different teams will do different things. And so some teams might say, well, hang on a minute, why haven't Williams bought a spare car for Alex to drive in case, he crashes as he did. But because Alex Albon collects the points for Williams, okay, let's have it right. He collects the points in general for Williams. They sacrificed Logan's car for Alex Albon to drive over the race weekend in quali as well as the race itself. And now, look, Alex Albon didn't get points this weekend, and Alex Albon did a decent job. Guess what? Ironically, a P11. However, it's always one thing when we debate about, which driver is actually faster. When you talk about, let's say, Lewis Hamilton versus Max Verstappen, we ask the question, who's the faster driver, right? And usually what kind of has a stalemate in that conversation is that one driver will drive for Red Bull and the other one will drive for Mercedes. And so it becomes a very much a car-dependent type of thing. Now, as much as that's really good to sort of have a good, juicy debate about, you then look at teammates, okay? You then look at your Carlos Sainz versus Charles Leclerc, for example, in a Ferrari. Very, very difficult to work out who's quicker. I don't know who's quicker because they've both got the same amount of race wins since Carlos Sainz joined Ferrari, okay? And this season, Carlos Sainz, as you can see in the Australian Grand Prix, won the race this weekend. But Charles Leclerc has had so many pole positions that you would argue he's definitely the faster driver. My point is, it's always been up for debate. Alex Albon and Logan Sargeant. Many people will claim that Alex Albon is a faster driver than Logan Sargeant. And I'm not going to say like it's a debate. It's not really a debate because they're in the same car. They both drive for Williams. But I've always had in the back of my mind, and I don't know about you, that even if you're in the same team, you may still have a few little intricacies in different cars, in different specs, in different setups, in different strategies. But to see Alex Albon literally leave his car in the rubble that it was, jump into Logan Sargeant's car, and outperform what Logan normally does in that same car, that's got to be disheartening. That's got to be heartbreaking, And I just thought about it over the weekend because I expected Alex to struggle this weekend. And, he didn't get the points, it's not like he was anything special or anything great, but he was still way better than what Logan was doing in that car. And that's like a direct, competition, like directly. Look, I can show you right here, right now, that Alex Albon is a much better driver than Logan Sargeant because of what he's done in Logan's car. You can argue so many things, different ways, different teams, different setups and strategies. There's even beef within teams, okay? When you look at the sort of the Nico Rosbergs and Hamiltons of this world when they've clashed, and what's the strategy going on that team? Prost and Senna, what strategy is going on the other side of the garage, even though you're the same team. But in this one, it's almost like you can't even argue it anymore. You can't even argue it. Maybe it was just me who needed to be settled in the heart to just say, look, Alex is definitely better because of this. And to see him in the same car as, as a Logan Sargeant and actually do well, for me, it just looked like, oh my goodness, do you know what, Logan? You need to shape up or shape out, You really need to really drill it home this year to keep your seat. Because last year, many people were calling for him to be gone. And it was his rookie year last year. And many people called for him to no longer be in Formula One. And I understand why. I mean, he got no points. He didn't really do much in that Williams. And Alex Albon was carrying Williams on his neck last year, carried on his back last year. All the points came from Alex Albon. Now, look, Alex Albon is a good driver. It's not like we're talking about some dud or some mediocre driver. Alex Albon is actually a very decent driver. Okay, there's a reason why he earned his place at Red Bull when he was a Red Bull driver. Didn't work out there, but and it just makes you think, what has Sargeant got left for this season? I think it's very important that Sargeant really does shape up, because when you can see what Sargeant's car has the potential to do, sometimes as well, you can argue that Sargeant hasn't done tremendously well because his car's not that great. And maybe it's not that great. But when somebody else, like your teammate, steps into that car and performs the way they perform, questions have to be raised. There was a couple of seasons ago where Albon was not feeling well. It was in Monza. And they brought in Nick De Vries, who wasn't in a Formula One seat at the time. And De Vries was going up against Latifi, who was the teammate then of Alex Albon. And De Vries got points in his first race, I think it was his first and only race at the Williams. And he got points straight away. And it was like the writing on the wall was there for Latifi. He was going to be gone. And hence why Logan came in last year. But I really do feel like, you know what, Logan, unless you really sort yourself out this year, unless you get whatever cobwebs it is, and I'm sure he stood there watching the race weekend and thought, man, he's doing that in my car, and that's a proper direct analysis. It's a direct comparison to what he's been doing in that car. And I just feel sorry for him a little bit, I just feel like, I want him to do well. He's a great guy. He comes across as a great person. He's flying the flag for the United States. And we've got how many races in America? We've got about 3, 4, I've lost count. But yeah, it would be good to see Sargeant do well. Like, I don't want to see no driver not do well, but it can become a little bit embarrassing, and to see what Alex Albon has done. Now, don't get me wrong, Alex Albon wasn't like pulling up trees. I'm not trying to overstate this point, but the fact that Alex Albon did better than what Logan has done in that car already this season, it shows a lot. It shows a lot, and it got me thinking. This is a bit of a worry and a bit of a concern. But hopefully, we didn't see the end of Logan Sargeant. I hope we haven't. I hope that this was a wake up call, a bit of a slap in the face a little bit for Sargeant to say, do you know what? If Alex can do that in this car, then surely I can do something better than what I've been doing. And I'm hoping for the best with Logan Sargeant, hoping that he will be all right. But I am concerned. What Alex Albon did in Logan's car struck me completely. If it struck you, let me know in the comment section below. If you think that, Pete, what are you on about? Like, why is this even a topic or a discussion? Again, let me know in the comment section below, because I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this situation. Am I the only one who feels this way? Let me know in the comment section. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And until next time, lights out. Peace.